Yo, what's up? It's Pika calling in. It's Friday night here in Singapore. I'm hoping y'all are either out enjoying yourselves or chilling at home. Either way, I'm hoping you're safe and happy and grateful that the end of the week is here already. Obviously, I'm not because it's not my end of the week. I have Saturday and Sunday work. So, anyway, wanted to talk to you a little bit about service today. I went to work as usual. Had the opportunity to sit in on a marketing meeting, which gave me a lot of ideas about strategy. And hopefully, if everything goes well, I will get to work with this person one-on-one and help push the business for Scholars Inc. And in the meantime, learn as much as I can, obviously, so that I can be useful in my own business. The other thing is we finished up with that meeting, got back to the office, and I did a little bit of transcription work. It's funny, I actually took a class to become a medical transcriptionist a while back, back when I was in the States, and I was trying to make money off of that. But it's funny how it's kind of come full circle, and I'm doing it now, only it's not as interesting as I thought it would be, and I'm pretty sure I would have been bored if that was the way I made extra money. So I'm glad I'm doing it. It's kind of fun. It's like it breaks up the creative work that I have to do a little bit, but it's quite monotonous. So anyway, did some quick transcription work, working on putting together some processes, protocols, manuals, stuff like that at the office, and that was kind of cool. Left early and. Right now it is purita sunny. So my grandparents, when they were alive, started off this thing where every year during purita sunny, we actually go to the temple. We will cut vegetables the night before, have the temple cook all the food, and then the next day we come in and we serve the whoever has come for the meal. So it's kind of like karma yoga. We serve the meal. We are there for the prayers in the morning and everything, and it's actually quite fun to me because I've always enjoyed being in a temple, in the vicinity of a temple. I don't know what it is. The vibration is so chill, and I feel like I could really get in tune with my intuition and kind of balance my energies, ground myself, and just get back to being me. That's the only place in the world I feel like not the only place. It's one of the places that I feel like I could really, really just tune out. And I don't know, it's very zen. I love it. The other place would be just outside in nature. If I'm near trees, to sit at the base of a tree. If I'm walking around, I love being barefoot. To walk around barefoot is very, very grounding and earthing to me. So those are the things I look forward to. So tonight I ended up cutting like a bucket full of onions, which was actually quite fun. I really loved it. We peeled a bunch of potatoes. We cut the potatoes. We peeled the cucumbers, cut the cucumbers. Just cut everything, and it was like buckets and buckets of food afterwards. So that they will cook early morning tomorrow, and then we'll be back there at the temple again to serve lunch after the prayers, and then I have to run off to work because I have a workshop tomorrow that I need to conduct. So yeah, that's tomorrow. But I really want to talk to you about service. So part of the service idea is this, volunteering at the temple, doing work for other people, providing a service, being of service, being available for other people, to serve wherever you can. It's important to me because I feel like that's what we were raised to do. My mom and I and my brothers lived in a place called Yogaville in Virginia, and it is an ashram where all walks of life have come together, and they live quite amicably with no problems in the middle of Buckingham County in Virginia. So, I mean, if you can if you can make it work in Buckingham County, there's no excuse. It can work everywhere. Very, very zen place. I learned a lot about service there. The founder, which is Sri Swami Satchidananda, actually has passed on at the moment, but he has created integral yoga institutes all over. My mom is currently serving on the board of trustees at the Kandy Tapovanam. So if you're in Sri Lanka, please have a chance to go check out the Tapovanam in Kandy. Look for my mom if you like. Take a yoga class, go check it out. It's worth it, you guys. I think it's always great to be able to check out of reality and social media and all this stuff where we're so connected but not actually connected, and that way you can really just get back in touch with what it means to be you. I find that a lot of times if I'm in a place where it's quiet and there's not a lot of distraction, not a lot of people, I find that I'm just naturally happy, which then begs the question, why am I unhappy when I'm near people? What is it about them that, drives me nuts and changes my mind and upsets me to the point that I'm no longer happy? So, I mean, it's a natural thing, it's a human thing, but the fact that when you're by yourself and you have no restrictions on what you can and can't do. There's no restrictions on who you need to be, if you have to be prim and proper, if you can sit around naked in the house, I don't know, whatever it is. If you can be yourself in a quiet place where no one wants anything from you and you don't have to get up and do anything right away, aren't you just naturally happy? Yeah, so Yogaville, we were raised in Yogaville, and the idea of service and what service should be came from there. So I guess my version of hospitality, my version of taking care of people, my version of being a mother, all of that stems from the things I learned in Yogaville. And they're very, very fundamental ideas, like you eat to live and you live to serve. You love all and you serve all. There is no discrimination against who gets the royal treatment and who doesn't. Everybody gets it. The CEO gets it, the janitor gets it. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of person we were raised to be. Very, very existential type of living, very, very idealistic, peaceful, easeful, useful. At all times you need to be in a position to be able to help. And if you're not serving other people, then it's considered kind of a little bit selfish, because you're not there to benefit other people. Obviously, in this day and age, we're talking about, you love everybody, but you save some for yourself, because if you don't love you, then who will? That's kind of the idea at the moment. But when I was growing up, and even now to this day, I mean, I've been called a martyr before, but honestly, I look for ways that I can help enhance the people around me, because the love you give out, it comes back to you, you guys. It really does. And it comes back to you in the weirdest of ways. It doesn't come back to you the same way you give it. It doesn't come back to you from the same place that you give it, but it always comes back to you. The one thing the universe really, really responds to is gratefulness. So I've learned that if I can be grateful and I can love everyone equally and I can serve no matter what, like, I was raised with that idea that if you see it, it becomes your responsibility. If you see trash on the floor and you notice it, it's your responsibility to pick it up and throw it away. If you find that, you're walking across the street and you see someone who is physically handicapped and needs some help, if you see it, it's your responsibility to go do something about it. Obviously, you wouldn't have noticed it otherwise. And I'm not saying go put your head down, headphones on, stare at your phone, and zombify walk across the street. That's not what I'm saying. Connect with people. There are people out there that need your help, that they will be too proud to ask for your help ever. But if you notice it, it is your responsibility to go do something about it. That's absolutely fundamentally what I believe. It's something I'm teaching my daughter as well. So for me, service is everything. I am my brand. If I don't do the things that I'm telling people to do, that I'm kind of useless as a brand, then don't even follow me. You know what I mean? And I mean, yeah, okay, I might slip up every now and again, but for the most part, I'd like to think that I live the philosophies that I preach. I make sure that if I see it, I do something about it. If I can't do something about it, I will at least speak up and say something about it, so that, I draw attention to the attention of that substance that's out of place or whatever to the people that can help, and then depend on them to do something about it. Excuse me. But I also feel like service can be in the form of being there for the people around you as well. I was very, very privileged just now to have a really great conversation with a young lady out in South Africa, in Cape Town actually, and we were obligated to talk to each other because it's part of an assignment that we had to do, but the fact that we were able to spend 2 hours on the phone, almost on different sides of the earth, and really get to know each other and really help each other out, that really says a lot about service. I feel like it's important that we give our all every time. I know it's very easy to be guarded this day and age. I know it's very easy to be super connected to everybody and say what you think you want people to hear, or say what you think people want to hear from you, but not really mean it. It's very easy to tell people you love them. It's very easy to tell people, oh man, I'll be there for you no matter what. But it's very difficult to do, because in an online community, you can't really judge when someone's really there for you or not. You kind of have at the mercy of when they pick up their WhatsApp messages, or if they decide to write you back, or whatever excuse they have. So while we are super connected to everyone around the world, that doesn't really mean that they can prove the fact that they are around for you. Now, I am part of several Facebook groups. I am part of several WhatsApp groups. I am connected to people all over, mostly because my family is kind of spread out. But I will say this, if someone absolutely needs me, I will do my very best to be there for them. And that could mean any one of 100 different things. If I feel like my words, like texting you, would fail, I will call, and then it's up to you if you pick up or not, obviously. If you don't pick up, I will at least send you a message, say, hey, I'm thinking about you, do you need any help or whatever, based on what I'm noticing. I was taught to notice pretty much everything about everyone. Anytime I have an interaction with you, it is everything that you do, you say, the way you speak, the cadence, the tense, all of that is actually put towards like a baseline of behavior for you. Okay, so anytime your pace quickens or you become curt or rude, I know already something's up. That's not the way you usually talk to me. So I will ask, what's up? Are you okay? If you're physically in front of me and I know I've had more than one interaction with you, I already have a baseline. So if you suddenly come at me looking like you're mean mugging me for no reason, I'm going to ask you, what's wrong? What's the problem? If you look like you're, down in the mouth, you're a little bit sad, you don't make eye contact as much, you don't smile as much, I'm going to ask you, what's wrong? Because I was taught that if you notice, it is your responsibility to do something about it. Okay? And that goes as far as service as well. That's what made me very effective as a hotelier, because when you take care of, guests that come to stay with you, and most of them are repeat guests, when they come to stay with you, you kind of have an idea of what kind of interaction you're going to have with them. So if it varies from the norm, you're expected to check in on them, make sure that they're okay, see if there's anything you can offer. Maybe they're sick and you want to say, you know what, let me see if I can't organize like chicken noodle soup for you. Or if it's a sore throat or whatever, honey lemon, something simple. And it's not anything that really has to come out of pocket or cost a lot. It just, the fact that you are anticipating their needs and taking the initiative to take care of those people, that is also service. And that's something I really, really, truly believe in. Maybe that's Southern hospitality, maybe that's, spirituality, I don't know, but that's who I am at my core. I want to serve. And if I feel like I am not useful to you, I suddenly feel out of place. I suddenly feel like maybe I should remove myself from that situation. So yeah, this great conversation with this young lady who's out in Cape Town doing some wonderful, tremendous work as a pastor. And it just so happens that, she's been a part of my RVP group for, 6 weeks now, but I haven't had a chance to really interact with her until today. So it was really great to actually sit down and talk to her and really find out who she is, what her journey's been about to this point. And honestly, as she was talking in the beginning, and then maybe the first 15-20 minutes, I wasn't sure if I had anything that I could offer to help her with. But as we got to know each other a little bit, and then I opened up about who I was and the kind of work that I do, then I could feel like that little wall was melting away a little bit. She was able to tell me, what she's been doing, what her life has been like a little bit. And obviously, that guard is up because she's been hurt before. So I was grateful that she took it down a little bit and I got to know her a little bit more. And we bonded over the fact that we're both single moms. We bonded over the fact that both our girls are about the same age. So we get, we deal with those times where they get mad at us, they want to talk to us. They are vying for our attention at all times. They just want so much more of us, and we're in a phase right now where we know what they want, we also want what they want, but if I don't put in the hours right now, I'm not going to have what we want in the end. So it's a big compromise. It's very, very difficult as a single mom, because already that, there isn't a second parent to share that attention that they're seeking with you. It's all you, and if you're not there, you stand a chance to lose them a little bit. And it's a fear that I have, and it's a worry that I have. But I know every morning I'm very grateful that this girl still wants to be with me. She still wants to see me. She still wants to be around me. And yeah, she was mad the night before, and she was mad that I wouldn't snuggle her while she went to bed or whatever, because I was afraid I'd fall asleep. And if I fall asleep, then I can't do my own work. So for me, being able to connect with her on that regard was really great, because then it opened up another avenue for me. She wants to transition from one-on-one work to group work, and when she told me that she was a single mom, I suddenly realized, what? She has a restriction on her time. She has a pain point such that she wants to be with her daughter, but she cannot at the moment unless she gets certain things going. So I'm thinking, what can she do that's minimal as far as commitment on her time, where she can make sure she's with her daughter as much as possible, but she can still do the kind of work that she wanted to do. So instead of going the emotional route that I usually do, because it seems like her mindset is pretty great, she being a pastor is able to motivate herself and be very objective about the things that are happening. So she doesn't get swept away by her emotions as much, from what I gather. But in that regard, me being a marketing mind and being able to see opportunities in certain areas that I've also lived through, I suggested that maybe she do group therapy based on the different kinds of people that have gravitated toward her anyway. She gets to see people day in and day out. And like I said, they're all one-on-one right now. But she also knows from those one-on-ones, this certain group of people deal with this particular problem. That certain group of people deal with that particular problem. Now, if you were to start up support groups for those separate problems, then you get to reduce the amount of time that you spend on these people and have them help each other while you guide them and make sure that they stay on task. So that becomes like a 1 hour commitment every day instead of several hours, because it's individually done. So to be able to serve in that capacity and give her the idea that, maybe you don't need to give all your time in order to get the things that you want done. Maybe you can let them do the work, but you make sure that all of them come together and they can actually get different points of view at that point. Otherwise, they do get just your point of view, which is also great, but it also speeds up their learning curve if they get to hear from different people every week. So I'm glad I was able to give her that one piece of advice. I'm glad that it resonated with her to the point that, yeah, this would free up a lot more time, and then maybe I can work on spending time with her as well as my business, and it's not so much of a stress for me. So I do believe in service. I really feel like service is key as far as business is concerned. I would love to offer products at some point, but right now the best thing I can do is be a listening ear. The best thing I can do is give you a little bit of advice about how I do things and how they might be different for you, or how they may be applied to you, or whatever you're doing. If you tell me, I might be able to see another aspect of it that I can give you advice on, or at least say, hey, why don't you try this? Because what's the harm in trying, right? You try and you figure out it doesn't work. So then if later on you're trying to grow again, I tried this and it didn't work, let me try something else instead. So as much as that was a rant right there, I really do feel like I feel fulfilled today. There were parts of my day where I was feeling a little bit lonely and a little bit out of place. There was certain parts of my day where I was wondering, am I in the right place? Am I with the right people? And being able to talk to this young lady out in Cape Town, it really reminds me that, yes, I'm exactly where I need to be at the exact moment that I need to be there. And there is nothing I can do to change it at the moment, which I wouldn't want to anyway, because I want to serve. I want to be of service. I want to be of value. I want to make sure that everyone in my presence feels like I'm genuinely there for them, feels like that I don't have any, agenda. I'm just there to serve. So that goes for my friendships, that goes for my love interests, that goes for, acquaintances, colleagues, whatever, I don't care. I want you to know that if I'm in your presence and I'm actually engaging and speaking to you, that I am there for a purpose. And the sole purpose is to leave you better than when I found you. That's for everyone. If I were to go back over the two relationships that I've had in my life, I'd like to be able to think that I made their life easier at some point. I made their life more tolerable. I maybe created some processes that helped them to this day. My two stepchildren, I'd like to be able to think that I taught them some life skills that they can carry forward with them no matter what, so that they are better off now than they were before. That is the kind of service I want to provide. And obviously I can't pinpoint that to one subject or the other. It's not about love, it's not about affection, it's not about mindset, it's not about cooking, it's not about being a housewife. It's kind of like an all-encompassing, how can I make you feel better? How can I serve you so that you can be the best possible version of yourself? Maybe I need to motivate you to go after your dreams and not let anyone hold you back. Maybe I need to help you understand that no matter whether you travel to Dubai and pursue your career, or if you fail miserably and come back home, no matter what that situation is, you can always call me. You can always talk to me. I will be there. Whether I'm your friend, whether I'm your worst enemy, whether we were, acquaintances once and you just lost touch. I am that girl that you can always call on. I am that person that you can always reach out to again and ask for advice, ask for help. Reconnect because you just need a decent conversation with someone where they're not yelling at you. Whatever it is, I am around, okay? I'm not the kind of person to disappear on you. Unless, of course, you've been rude, crude, and socially unattractive, and you've decided to, like, upset me somehow. And on multiple occasions, because I am quite forgiving, if you're upsetting me on purpose, if you call me because the only way you feel better about yourself is to put me down, obviously I'm going to cut you off. And no, you won't be able to get me back on the line for shit. There won't be any way. But other than those situations, I am available. Yes, I do have limited time. Maybe I won't answer you right away, but I will find a way to make sure that you know that yes, I heard the fact that you needed my help, and I will let you know. I will manage your expectations as to when I can get back to you. I don't like leaving people hanging. I know what it's like to be left hanging, so as much as I can, I will manage your expectations of me so that you know when to expect me to respond back to you, or if I can't and I need to refer you to somebody else, I will let you know that as well. Because the last thing I want you to do is be waiting on me and thinking that, I don't care. I do care. And that's probably my biggest problem, that I do care. So, now you know exactly what service means to me. It may not be the same for everybody, and that's fine. But I know for me, from my perspective, service is everything. I think it was Maya Angelou that said, people will remember what you heard. People remember what you told them. People might remember what you showed them, but people would definitely remember how you made them feel. And that to me is really big. I want you to feel empowered. I want you to feel stronger. I want you to feel like you can go out there and conquer the world if you wanted to. And if you really are tripping and you're like full of yourself, I want you to know that, you know what? Maybe there's another aspect of life that you need to maybe take into consideration. Maybe I can give you constructive criticism so that you can better yourself. Either way, I want you to be better. I genuinely want you to win. I want you to succeed. I don't care who you are. I think there's enough for all of us to be able to succeed. So, there it is, my rant. I am going to go ahead and try and get some work done real quick before I have to go to bed, because I need to be at the temple again tomorrow, and I will catch you again tomorrow night so I can recap and tell you what's going on then. But in the meantime, you all take care. If you're out, please be safe, get home in one piece, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.